last time on Revelation Space, we had threats from Ilya Volyova. We had strikes from orbit. And now Sylveste and his wife are on their way to meet up. We finally got to Delta Pavonis and we're now getting them all together. It feels like we've been traveling through space for 20 years, doesn't it?
Oh yeah.
I think it does.
Starting off the chapter, we've got Pascal and her husband and Calvin. As we know, Volyova specifically said that she wanted Calvin and Sylveste. So they're talking, and Calvin and Sylveste's relationship, typical dad and son relationship, kind of
bickering and stuff,
just fighting. And Pascal's like, hey guys, no time to be silly old men, let's talk about what's going on. So what's going on is Calvin and Sylveste are kind of explaining to Pascal what exactly Volyova might want and their history with Volyova and the captain.
So John McBranigan had a big Flanagan and he got sick and he needed Calvin Sylveste to come and help him again. And and so originally it was Calvin Sylveste before Dan was born that was helping John Brannigan. But after he died and he was only on the ship, well, they're like, well, we still need repairs with the captain. This is happening decades after. So Sylveste, with the copy of Calvin, the Ultras kidnapped him. That's when he went missing for 30 days. And they kidnapped him aboard the ship, put the chip in his brain, or, put Calvin over him. And they needed to do it to Sylveste because, as we know, Sylveste is a clone, although Sylveste just assumes it's because it's his son. The copy of Calvin and Sylveste go really well together, so Calvin can actually pilot Sylveste because they're so similar, and so that's how Calvin operates on the captain. Because Sylveste doesn't have the experience Calvin does, but through what they call piloting or channeling, they can get the expertise of Calvin through the body of Sylveste, and that's why they're after him. They did this once in the past, and now they're here again, because last time it didn't get fixed all the way through, and then now Jan Brannigan McFlanagan sick again. So now that Sylveste has reached the rendezvous point, Khouri, Kirel, and Volyova are descending from the ship to go pick up their guest Sylveste. On the way down, they use those advanced suits that they were training with originally. And as they drop down, the suits are very smart and they can transform, so they form various aerodynamic shapes as they come down the gravity well to retrieve our mutual friend. They descend and one of the suits goes off to pick up Sajaki, and then there's a few empty suits as backup. But Khouri doesn't have any weapons. She complains vigorously about this.
Now the Mademoiselle pops up again, which we haven't really heard from her in a while, like a big old spiel from her in a while. So she's here and she's talking to Khouri. And
we found out the reason why she's been missing for so long. She's been holding off Sunstealer. We remember that Sunstealer got into Khouri's head last time she was in the cache weapon chamber. And she's actually been trying to hold him off this whole time, but now she's dying.
Very sad moment. I actually teared up a bit because basically the Mademoiselle is taking one for the team and taking some damage. She's kind of protecting, I guess, in a way. Kind of the Sunstealer is getting stronger, Mademoiselle's getting weaker. Typical sad thing.
Sad moment.
Sad moment. Poor Mademoiselle. Turns out she has a heart after all, in a way. Kinda to her own benefit, I guess.
True.
But still, in a way, it's kind of heartwarming.
One of her last efforts is to give guns, to give the weapon systems that were locked out to Khouri. Now, again, this is not the kindness of her heart. She wants Khouri to use these on Sylveste, and she reminds her that the inhibitors will wipe out everyone if she does not kill Sylveste.
Right, and then she disappears. Very sad moment, very dramatic exit.
And that's when they make contact with Dan Sylveste.
Right. So, we've got they're finally meeting. This is very interesting. They're finally meeting after so many chapters of this lead up. We finally
Back and forth.
have it. Finally. So, who do we have? Set the stage. We've got Volyova, very sexy, powerful woman. And then we've got Khouri, also a sexy, beautiful woman. We've got Pascal, her husband.
Sajaki, but he ain't here yet.
We've got Sudjic.
Sudjic.
Alright.
So Khouri is getting ready to murder Sylveste. Murder him. And she's about to do it. She's about to go through with it. But she sees one of the other students doing what she's about to do. And she's like, what? Am I watching myself from a third angle? No! It's Sudjic about to murder Volyova. She's obviously like, she kind of sees Volyova as somewhat of a friend. And she says, get out of the way! Run away! But Sudjic just shoots her a few times. The suit protects her, but she's pretty much out. That's when Khouri unleashes her full arsenal upon Sudjic, who didn't know she had it. Because that's the only reason she felt comfortable acting, is because she was the only one with weapons, says Volyova. She thought she could blindside her, but no. We got Khouri here, and she's acting as a good friend to her captor. And she basically blows away Sudjic, nothing left of her pile of atoms. And that's when Sergey arrives on the scene, and big boy Sergey's here, ready to take control of the situation. Sylveste just looking here. He's getting picked up by ultras, and then all of a sudden they start shooting each other, so he's very confused. The next chapter is actually just a short little reprieve of what Sylveste sees from the situation, so it's just a little recap, but through Sylveste's eyes. And he is basically just confused. He kind of learns who Khouri is. And she's pretty, she's just still targeting him. So she's still kind of deciding if she wants to kill him or not. And Sajaki's like, well, let's get up to the plane, because let's get to the ship, because this is very perplexing. And he basically wants to piece together everything that happened. Obviously, he's going to be suspicious of Khouri because she killed Sudjic. But it makes sense to Sajaki because Volyova did kill Nagormi.
So Sylveste knows that they really wanted him and Calvin, and so he kind of uses this to kind of taunt them, and like he has like the kind of like chip or beta level whatever simulation of Calvin, and basically crushes it in front of their faces.